Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Work Awareness. Join us today and find out who our guest is and what they do. Welcome. Do you mind telling us what you do, James?
Thank you, Winnie. My name is James, working with the number one land developer in Africa called Optiven, and I'm a regional manager with the organization.
Yeah.
Basically, my work is to empower and inspire Kenyans living in Kenya and also in the diaspora on investment opportunities available back home.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
And I can say it's a great opportunity. It's a field full of learning. Every day I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting new people every day. And I can say it's a good start for my career in the real estate sector. As I say, we are still growing. So I'm still in the adolescent age of this field. Yeah.
What made you choose that line of work?
Formerly, I was in management of information systems. I've done software engineering, ICT.
Yeah.
But some years back, I was working in DRC, Congo, and Burundi.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of challenges trying to invest back home in Kenya.
Yeah.
I tried like 3 different investments, and every time I would send money, I would never see my investment. The first time I sent money, around 1.6 million Kenya cents, when I came to Kenya, the guy who was selling me the piece of land was nowhere to be found. The second time I bought with an organization somewhere, and then when I went to fence my piece of land, I was told the organization had not paid the owner of the piece of land. So it's not my land until they clear. And up to date, they have never cleared. In fact, the company closed down its doors. Then the third time I tried to invest via my dad and the chief, and the person who was selling us the land had something we call caveats. They could not agree with the children and the wife. So my money also went to the place. So for the 3 times I tried to invest, it really hit me hand like, that is only James. How many more Kenyans out there are facing the same challenge? And that's when I decided, no, enough is enough. I need to enter into the sector, learn how to do it, and at least get a foundation where I can also be able to invest. Because myself, I love investing. I love the idea of capital growth.
Yeah.
Every time I invest in a piece of land, I feel like my money is not going into waste. Yeah. In the future, even if it's not me, my generation, my favorite generation will have something at least to enjoy. So that's how I choose to enter into the real estate sector. It's not because I didn't have options. It's because of the challenges I faced. And I feel like there are more Kenyans out there who are facing the same challenge.
Yeah, true. And how long have you been in real estate?
Right now, I'm entering 10 years in the field. Yeah. But the organization I'm working with has been there now for 22 years. Yeah. So let's say half of the organization career I've been with it.
Oh. And what training or skills do you think are crucial in being a real estate agent?
Well, it's good to understand the sector where anyone who has done economics or anyone who has done any business course, I think it goes very well because most of the time clients I meet will ask me, what is the rate of return, ROI for investment. And if you don't understand some of these key ones, then it will be really difficult for you. You also need to understand mathematics because most of the time you'll be calculating in interest and things like that. You also need to learn a lot about forex exchange because right now as we speak, I'm in Vienna, Austria. So if I had no idea about foreign exchange, then it will be difficult for me to exchange euros into Kenyan settings. And you find most of the investors in the diaspora would like to get calculations in their local currency, either euros, USD, pounds, and stuff like that. So another area one need to understand and to study well, it's about real estate development, and there's a course in Kenya about real estate. And I went under the training so that I can go get more info. It's good to understand the real estate so that you can understand the different areas and the different aspects of real estate, because real estate is so broad. People think real estate is just building houses and selling clothes. Real estate is so broad that even a petrol station is part of real estate. You see, a hotel is part of real estate. A hospital is part of real estate. So real estate is so broad. I think it's good for one to do a course about real estate so that they can understand the different fields and aspects of this field. Yeah.
Okay. And What is your current role and how is it like?
Well, currently I'm a regional manager in Optiven. A regional manager means that I have a block. I represent a certain block. We are opening an office in the DRC Congo. I'm the one in charge of that.
Yeah.
We're also doing a lot of diaspora. I'm in charge of meeting Kenyans with the diaspora and training them, educating them on the opportunities available back home in the real estate sector.
Yeah.
Because you find in Kenya, most of the time we preach the bad news. You know, every time you go to social media, someone is talking about bad traffic. Someone is talking about, bad weather. There's no one talking about the good things that are happening in Kenya. No one is talking about the good infrastructure we are having in Kenya. Nobody is talking about the devolution and the way it's changing Kenya. So my role is to educate Kenyans also and members of staff on the opportunities available back home. Because other than meeting our external clients, we like to empower our internal clients who are members of staff and partners on these opportunities so that they don't also miss on them. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is your typical day or week like as a real estate agent?
I would say, unless you have a very understanding partner, a wife or a husband, being a real estate agent is a tricky law, and just God blessed me with a partner who understands me. It's not an easy call because I'm dealing with the people in different regions, different areas of the world. Yeah. And in fact, when Kenya we are sleeping, that is when USA are awake. Yes. Sometimes when we are sleeping in Kenya, on the side of China, that's when they are waking up. And these people want me to respond. These people want me to talk to them. These people want me, to engage with them. So a typical day for James Ploti, they call me James Ploti, by the way, on social media and even in Kenya. Yeah. But I'll tell you, a typical day for James is a real estate day. Yeah. I don't have a day of my own. I always, I think I talk, I walk, I eat, I drink real estate.
Yeah. And what inspires you about being a real estate agent?
Every time I handle a client and I give them a sale agreement or a title deed, that inspires me. Because the vision of our organization is to see by the year 2030, we are able to settle over 300,000 Kenyans to have a home or a title deed, a place they can call their own. So every time I meet a new person and they commit and I see them receive their sale agreement, offer letter, or I give them the title deed, I feel like I still need more push. I need to keep on moving and going and going. That really inspires me. That really inspires me.
Yeah, and what growth opportunities are in your line of work?
Well, it's huge. Currently, we are talking, if you talk just about Nairobi, we have less than 8% homeowners in Kenya. Yeah. If I look at my future, I'm learning a lot from our CEO and my mentor, Mr. George Washiori. Yeah. And I'm looking at opportunities of whereby I can introduce low-cost housing in Kenya. Yeah. There are so many opportunities I can start building for people in the future. Not now, of course. I need a lot of financial muscle. I also need a lot of network. I need a lot of training from my team leader. Yeah. But I can see opportunities in the future where I can grow to have an organization of my own, whereby I'll be building for people low-cost houses. The people who are buying land from us in Optiven, most of them want to build, and they want a solution whereby they can build simple houses. Those are habitable and cost-effective. So every time I'm traveling around in Europe, when I'm traveling in China, when I'm traveling in India, I'm meeting different developers and learning on the concept they use, so that in the future one day, maybe I can introduce my own company and start construction. There are so many opportunities in this sector. When you go to Kenya right now, we have a shortage of hospitals in Kenya and in the health sector. So that's also an area I've been keenly looking at on how in the future maybe I can start building hospitals, in different areas where we have our projects. I'm investing in Optiven as well. I'm buying pieces of land with Optiven, and I'm thinking on how I can develop them in the future, other than just building a house to live in. Maybe some places I'll build pharmacies, some other places I'll build hospitals, and I'll be able to solve the challenge of low number of hospitals in Kenya. Yeah.
That is very inspiring. That's very inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. How does your profession impact the society?
Well, we believe we are the church in our profession. We are inspiring people, and empowering socially and economically. When I say social empowerment, every time we buy a project, let's say like the one we are selling right now in Success Garden in Thika, the moment we bought that project, we needed to do fencing. So the community around that area are the ones who are getting work to work in the fencing area. When we start to do the road marraming and construction of roads, the people within that area are the people benefiting. They are getting work. So you can see in one project, we are able to employ over 100 youths. And in their social aspect, we are changing. Instead of them sitting idle, we are giving them some work to do. We also giving back to the society through the Optiven Foundation. Every place where we have a project, we go there and we identify needy cases and we support them. People in need of mobility, we give them wheelchairs. There are those mamas and tukukas who are left without houses, we build for them. So in the social aspect, we are really impacting and empowering the society. When it comes to economic empowerment, you see, like when you buy a piece of land today, instead of keeping that money in the bank, in 2, 3, 4 years, the piece of land would have appreciated in value. So your economic status changes. So maybe you bought a piece of land at 600,000 Kenya, which is like 5,000 euros. In 5 years, you sell the same piece of land at 10,000 euros. Economically, you have grown. So we are the change both socially and economically.
Yeah, you don't have really much of family life. How does it affect your social life?
I would say I have family life. It's just that they need to understand that sometimes I have to pick a call when they never expected me to pick a call. You may be having some family time. Maybe you are going for a holiday. And in between, you're interrupted with a call and you have to pick it. But let me say, it doesn't affect too much about my family life. Not many people have ever complained about their family life, but you just need to make your partner and your family understand that you may pick calls, you may respond to a message when they really expected you to do that. You might travel when they never expected you to travel. Like right now I'm in Europe. Last month I was in Europe. So they need just to know that you might do something they never expected. But they like it because it also gives us a lot of exposure and a lot of network. In case my son wants to study pilots, because he always wanted to study pilots, I know where to take him. I know friends who can connect him. So I would say it never affects my family life and my social life so much negatively. I'm a guy who meets with a lot of people in their social areas. So I'll say my family doesn't complain much because meeting with people is what gives us business. And my family feels like that's a great opportunity also for them because they're in different areas, so they enjoy my social life. Let's say the few hours I have in my social life, they really enjoy.
And like you said, you changed your professions, Yes. How hard was it to change from your previous career to being a real estate agent?
It was really hard. I had my own company before that. I used to call it the Info Truck Systems in Burundi, DRC, and South Sudan. But because of the challenges, I moved to Kenya. And now I had to change my mind. I had to shift my mind to stop thinking ICT-wise and start thinking real estate. It was not an easy thing. But the benefit about it, most of the data, most of the contact I had in the real estate career are the same people now I started to approach and advise them on real estate. And it was easy for them to, to buy into the idea because we had gone through similar investment charges. So it was not really, it was difficult for me, but not difficult for my network.
And what advice would you give somebody who is changing to join real estate from their previous jobs or something?
If they want to change to real estate, let them not be lukewarm. Let them not move like the right leg is in real estate, the left leg is in their previous career. Let them move with the both legs. When you need to move, just move. No turning back. No thinking like, oh, when I was there, I was making more money. No. Just move. When you shift your everything, it will be easier for you to transition. But if you are doing it like then you never succeed. You never succeed.
And What do people misunderstand or misinterpret about being a real estate agent?
Many people think being a real estate agent is being a broker. You know, when we were growing up in Africa, in Kenya mostly, there were those land brokers. They would come approach your parents, and tell their parents to say somebody that sell you a piece of land, and then they will go and do some sort of business, and your parents would lose money and lose the piece of land. So when you tell people that you are a real estate agent, many of them in Kenya think like, we will broker our mashamba, you see? But it's totally different, because to me, I'm more of an advisor, in real estate advisor. I give you advice. In fact, there are people who approach me, they want to sell land, and I listen to them, I talk with them, and at the end of the day, they don't sell their piece of land. I give them solution on how they can sell the piece of land, get the money they wanted in another way, and they save their investment, they save their piece of land. So many people misinterpret us. They think real estate agents are brokers, but that's not the thing. We're not brokers.
Yeah. And what expectations did you have then when you were joining the real estate that you have found they're totally different from the reality of being a real estate agent now?
When I joined real estate, I thought real estate is just selling land and selling place. But when I came in, I was like surprised that the sector is so broad that I only knew 1%. There's another 99% I never knew of. It caught me unawares. I was like, wow. So I misinterpret real estate, and many people do the same.
Yeah. And what do you wish would improve or change in your line of work?
If the government of Kenya can digitize all the activities involved in land transaction, if that one changes, it will really make business so easy for us. Another thing, if we can register, if we can have a body in Kenya that controls land developers and real estate agents, that nobody comes into the sector and that sort of business and runs away with Kenyans' money. You can have a body that controls that, or like an insurance cover that anybody investing in Kenya will have their money insured. Even if the real estate company fails, their money will still be. Of course, I've seen a number of Kenyans suffering after some of these real estate companies collapse. If we can have like an insurance cover to protect Kenyans, I really appreciate.
And how do you think people should tackle, like you see, like brokers, they can sell like one piece of land to 3 or more people.
Yes.
Then me, when I innocently come to get my land, I'm like, I did not sell you my land. So when I land in Kenya, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, and I'm full of millions of money. What would you advise people to do, or what precautions to take, especially before buying land, like a real estate agent?
Thank you. I think that's one of the topics I've really discussed in most of my podcasts and videos. And my advice is always due diligence. Before you buy this piece of land, before you commit your money, kindly do a lot of due diligence. Who is this person selling you land? Is it a company or an individual? The land they are selling you, are the documents clean? You know, get the copies of the title deed. Have a lawyer, have a legal representative in Kenya. You know, have a conveyance. Let them go do search for you. Someone who a legal representative. When the land is clean, and if you feel it's an individual, okay, mostly the companies are a bit okay. There are some companies like Optiven and others who are okay. But if it's an individual, get the copy of the title deed, go to a bank, tell the bank you want them to finance you, buy the piece of land. The bank will do a lot of land search. And if the land is not genuine, the bank will decline. And then you know that the deal is not good. If it's a company selling you land, request them to take you to their previous project. Go and visit some of the previous projects. When you see them, talk with the people living there. Because I don't believe there's a company that has sold land and there are no people living in their previous project. So when you meet the previous investors, talk with them. Know how they do business. How many years have they been in business? Visit their office. You know, talk with their members of staff. Also go to social media. Me, I like the people who go on social media and they like, who has ever bought land with Optiven? I really like that. I really like that. Because you see our customers coming in from more across the globe and saying, no, me, I've bought land with Optiven, I've invested. You know, that one can already give you a guidance to tell you this is clean. So social media has become like one of our due diligence fields where you can search and know if a real estate agent is clean or fake, but always do due diligence. Get the copies of the title deed, go to the land office, search for that piece of land, go to the ground, see the piece of land, how many kilometers, where is it, involve a bank if possible, seek for financing, because a bank will only finance a legit piece of land in Kenya. They cannot finance a land that has caviars and land that has chaos. And then when you buy, fence your piece of land if it's in an open ground. Thanks to Optiven, at least Optiven fences all the project. But there are some other companies who doesn't fence. So if you buy with a company that doesn't fence, go and fence your land. Because when you fence, then it will be difficult for anyone to come and claim the land is theirs. Yeah.
Good.
But I always advise people to go for companies that are registered, and those are operational, and they have, they have previous work experience.
And what challenges or pressures do you face as a real estate agent?
Challenges.
Yes.
Challenges are there. When you meet with someone the first time, they don't trust you. And the major challenge is building that trust block. And that's a huge challenge. But with the time, we are able to, to network with them. And but many people have been through a lot of hell in Kenya. So the challenge is, do they trust you or do they not? But when they know about Optiven or how we do our work, they come and visit our office, our project. We have done over 100 projects in the past that there are people there. When they come and see that, then it's easier. Another challenge that comes is trying to win the heart of those who have been heartbroken. It's not easy. It's a huge challenge. Yesterday, I had a meeting here in Vienna during the celebration of the Madaraka Day, and I met with a doctor who had invested with his brother in Kenya, and the brother built a house where they had bought, and they had changed all the documents to read his name. So you see, changing someone like that not start investing back again in Kenya, it's not an easy thing. But I was able to convince them and explain to him how he can do it alone without the brother. So there are challenges. Challenges mostly are about convincing people who have been through these challenges.
And what are some of the best memories you have had as a real estate agent?
I would say every time I give a title deed, that's a memory to me. That's a great memory. I remember there's a lady I gave a title deed in Sweden, Stockholm, and we were in a restaurant. I just called her to I'm in Stockholm. Would you come and meet me? I have something you need to sign. I had not told her that I was bringing the title deed. And she was like, are you sure you're in Stockholm? I told her, yeah, I'm in Stockholm. I'm in Vasgatastrasse. Just come and meet me. And the lady came with the hubby and the daughter. And I produced the title deed. And I told her, your title deed is lending. I wanted you to sign. And the lady screamed. She was hugging me. She was crying. She was screaming. And I've never forgotten that. I never forgot that,
And how has the pandemic affected your work?
The pandemic has made the real estate sector to grow, because I think we got more investors during the pandemic than previously. Because now people understand why they need to have their own compound and their own homes rather than living in apartments in Kenya. Because when the pandemic came and you were locked in an apartment, your children could not go out to play, you could not leave the house. But if you had your own compound, you could go to the kitchen garden, you could go to the to your front garden. I think the pandemic really made the real estate sector on our field, the land developers, to grow instead of to go down.
And who has been the most influential person in your field, in your career?
George Washori, my CEO. That guy, I owe him. He has been so influential in my life, both in my career, personal growth, and also in my family life. He teaches me a lot. Then there is Pastor Danny Murage from Jesse Eastland. He is my pastor. Those are the two guys who have been really able to work with me. The third person is Bishop Philip Katutu.
Yeah.
You know, he is a man I can always chat with. I can always call. You know, he's always there for me. And you know, we face a lot of challenges in life. And he is a guy. When I talk with him, he understands, and he will always give us a solution. And the other day, I was asking him, "How come you have a solution for everything?"
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, or anything I didn't know enough to ask about the real estate field? Anything you want to add, advise somebody, anything about your field of work?
Maybe an advice to Kenyans and also to foreigners who want to invest in Africa. Yeah. Africa is in its growth mode. Africa, we are in our teenage level now, yeah, which means we have so many opportunities of growth. Yeah. There's a huge population in Africa that doesn't have homes. That is an avenue and an opportunity people need to identify. Yeah. So for Kenyans living in the diaspora, this is their chance to invest. You see, when you look at the radius of Nairobi city, the UN habitats are projecting it to go to 80 kilometers. Right now, we are doing around 40. So there are still huge opportunities. People are still living in slums. Imagine over 6 million Kenyans living in slums. So there's a huge opportunity for Kenyans to invest in neighboring counties, Machakos, Kitengela, you know, all those Veka. It's high chance now for Kenyans to start identifying this investment opportunity in Kenya. Yeah. And land in Africa is still appreciating in value. Yeah. We are still very far. You can imagine a place like Kajiado, which is like 50 kilometers from Nairobi city. You can get a piece of land at only 700,000 Kenyan cedis. Yeah. Which means we are still very young. We are still very young. And this population of Nairobi is growing on a daily basis. Every time we have a graduation, every time I see a university graduating, I'm thinking like, there's a new generation coming into the city of Nairobi. And where are they going to be living? What are they going to be doing? So we have so many opportunities in Kenya and in Africa. Yeah. And there's a chance for us as Kenyans to identify them, move with them, create ideas, and start expanding. Let's grab the opportunities before it's too late. And land is always appreciating in Africa. Yeah, I would advise everyone to think differently. Don't look at the negative side. You know, yeah. Don't look at what the politicians are saying. Don't look at, you know, that one accident that happened along Mombasa Road that you're saying, oh, in Kenya the roads are bad. No, look at how many people move to Mombasa on a daily basis. You know, you just don't look at one person and say everything is bad. Yeah. So let's look at the positive side of Kenya and identify these opportunities. Let's build hospitals, let's build restaurants, fun centers, you know, let's build camping sites, you know, let's grab the opportunity. Right now we have devolution in Kenya. Every county is trying to empower its legion. Let's see these opportunities and move with them. So Kenyans living in the diaspora, we have many opportunities for investment in Kenya.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you.